Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel.
General Hospital shocker, unraveling Jack Brennan's web of deception and Jocelyn's undercover ordeal. Hello, General Hospital fans. Buckle up, because Port Charles is hiding some explosive secrets that could shatter lives and relationships. Jocelyn Jacks has mysteriously vanished after a dangerous spy mission, leaving her mother Carly Spencer frantic and desperate for answers. In the shadows, her enigmatic mentor Jack Brennan may not be the hero everyone thinks he is. His motives run far deeper than training a young recruit, with a supposedly dead mobster, Cyrus Renault, potentially still at large and evidence inexplicably tying Jason Morgan to the chaos. This storyline has spiraled into a tangled web of deception. In this long-form deep dive, we unravel Jack Brennan's hidden agendas, Jocelyn's troubled psyche, Carly's next moves, and the looming threats that could change General Hospital forever. Let's delve into the drama and speculate on what might happen next in this thrilling saga. Jack Brennan, the mastermind with a hidden agenda. Jack Brennan entered the scene as a polished WSB agent, the kind of man who could drop into Carly's life as a savior one day and a confidant the next. On the surface, he has been a hero to the Corinthos/Spencer family, orchestrating daring rescue missions and offering guidance to Jocelyn as she dabbled in espionage. He even managed to spark a surprising romance with Carly herself, endearing himself to her family and gaining their trust. But behind Jack's charming smile lies a calculating mastermind with secrets as dark as any villain in Port Charles. In reality, Jack's motives for getting close to Carly and Jocelyn were far from pure happenstance. Rumors suggest that his presence in their lives was very intentional, possibly part of a long-term WSB operation or an independent scheme. Jack has a history steeped in covert operations and betrayal. He once led the dangerous arms cartel known as Pikemen and even did time in Pentonville for those crimes. When he first arrived in town, he was more of a villain than a hero, reportedly even attempting to kidnap Carly Spencer before being arrested. All of this was kept well under wraps as Jack reinvented himself as an ally. It appears his ultimate goal all along was to recruit, or rather, ensnare, Jocelyn into the spy world, and cozying up to Carly was just a means to that end. What truly drives Jack Brennan? On one hand, he might be pursuing a twisted sense of duty, eliminating threats like Cyrus Renault and harnessing Jocelyn's potential for the greater good. On the other hand, his agenda could be deeply personal, perhaps revenge against old enemies or a bid for power using WSB resources. Some suspect that Jack is still aligned with his old mercenary contacts, manipulating the WSB from within. His manipulation of Jocelyn suggests a man who craves control and will exploit anyone to achieve his mission. Adding an extra wrinkle, Jack has unexpectedly developed genuine feelings for Carly during this charade. Those feelings conflict with his ruthless intentions for Jocelyn, creating inner turmoil. Nevertheless, if it comes down to it, Jack seems ready to sacrifice love and loyalty to see his mysterious plan through. This dual nature, loving boyfriend versus cunning puppeteer, makes Jack one of the most complex and dangerous wild cards in Port Charles right now. Jocelyn Jacks, the price of a double life. Jocelyn Joss Jacks never imagined she'd be living the life of a spy before she even finished college. Initially, her decision to work with Jack Brennan wasn't so much a choice as it was a desperate pact. After a terrifying confrontation in a remote cabin, Jocelyn ended up pulling the trigger to stop the menacing Cyrus Renault, who lunged at her with a hatchet. In the heat of that life-or-death moment, her instincts kicked in, and Cyrus fell, bleeding and motionless. In the aftermath, everything was a blur of shock and adrenaline. Jack Brennan swooped in to clean up the scene and promised to protect Joss from the legal and personal fallout. But his help came at a steep price: Jocelyn's silence and cooperation. Faced with either confessing to killing a dangerous criminal and risking prison, not to mention putting her loved ones in the crosshairs, or following Jack into a world of secrets, she felt she had no real choice. That split-second decision has now altered the course of her life. Living as an undercover agent in training has taken a heavy psychological toll on Jocelyn. By day, she must pretend everything is normal, attending classes, chatting with friends and family, while by night she's taking covert instructions from Jack and lying to everyone she loves. The guilt of deceiving her mother, her friends, and her boyfriend Dex eats at her. Joss was always known for her honesty and open heart. Now she carries the burden of a deadly secret. The memory of Cyrus's death haunts her dreams. It was kill or be killed, yet taking a life, even in self-defense, has left a stain on her conscience. She often replays that moment in her mind, the flash of fear as Cyrus attacked, her trembling hands on the gun, the crack of the gunshot echoing in the woods. Each recollection brings a mix of pride for surviving and profound guilt. Emotionally, Jocelyn is stretched to her breaking point. She's trying to live up to Jack's expectations as a spy, eager to prove that her impulsive heroics were not a mistake. Part of her feels empowered by the secret agent life. She's always been brave, much like her mother Carly, and there's a thrill in knowing she can handle herself in dangerous situations. But that thrill is tempered by anxiety and isolation. With every lie she tells Carly or her best friend Trina, Joss feels a piece of her confidence chip away. She worries someone will notice her restless nights or the fear in her eyes whenever Cyrus's name comes up. Worse, Jocelyn is grappling with the knowledge that Jason Morgan, a man she considers family, is being framed for the crime she committed. Jack has assured her this is necessary to keep her cover intact, but that justification rings hollow. The idea of an innocent and beloved man taking the fall gnaws at her conscience. How long can she carry this charade before she cracks? Jocelyn's every decision now comes with intense second-guessing. Trust Jack's plan or come clean and risk everything. The espionage game has not only put her life in danger, it's threatening her sense of self and sanity. Carly Spencer, a mother on the warpath. No one messes with Carly Spencer's children and gets away with it. As soon as Jocelyn went MIA, Carly's maternal instincts went into overdrive. This is the same woman who has faced down mob bosses and kidnappers. A missing daughter sets her on a relentless hunt for the truth. At first, Carly is piecing together what little she knows. Jocelyn was last seen in the chaos surrounding Cyrus Renault's disappearance at the PCPD, and now both Cyrus and Joss are unaccounted for. Fear gnaws at Carly that Cyrus, a man who has terrorized her family before, might have retaliated by snatching Jocelyn. Desperate for leads, Carly is likely to turn to the one person she believes can help, Jack Brennan. After all, Brennan has proven himself resourceful and loyal to her family in recent crises. Carly has no idea that Jack could be part of the problem. From her perspective, he's an experienced WSB agent who cares about Joss and has saved the day in the past. So, she may very well call Jack in a panic, asking him to use all his spy resources to track down her daughter. However, Carly didn't get her formidable reputation by being naive. If answers don't come quickly, or if Brennan's story doesn't add up, her suspicion will ignite. Carly knows something is off. Why were only a couple of Jason's hairs found at a crime scene, but no body? Why did Jocelyn vanish without a word to anyone? These inconsistencies will drive Carly to dig deeper on her own. We can expect her to tap every ally and informant she has, Sonny Corinthos and his underworld network, Anna Devane with her WSB expertise, and Drew Quartermain, who is as invested in Joss's safety as she is. Carly's reaction is a mix of fear and fury, fear for her daughter's life, and fury at whoever is deceiving them. Once Carly begins to unravel the threads, she won't let go. She might even recall Brennan's checkered past, including that old kidnapping attempt, and realize she's been duped into trusting him. When the damning truth finally comes out, that Jack manipulated Jocelyn and framed Jason, Carly will be livid. Carly's next moves could change the game entirely. She might play it smart by feigning ignorance and keeping Brennan close until she can ensure Jocelyn's safety. Carly could conceivably set a trap, perhaps feeding Jack false information to see if he slips up or leading him into a situation where his lies unravel publicly. And if Cyrus Renaud is somehow alive and had a hand in any of this, Carly will leverage that too. She might even ally with an unlikely partner, a former enemy like Cyrus himself, if it means getting her daughter back. At her core, Carly is a survivor and a mother bear. Her wrath is terrifying when provoked. As this drama heats up, one thing is clear. Carly Spencer will not rest until she brings Jocelyn home and makes the mastermind behind her disappearance pay dearly. Jack Brennan had better watch his back, because Carly is on the warpath and nothing in Port Charles will stop her from uncovering the truth. Cyrus Renaud, dead man walking? The mystery surrounding Cyrus Renaud's fate hangs over Port Charles like a dark cloud. Officially, Cyrus is presumed dead or at least missing after that fateful cabin showdown. Jocelyn's bullet left him sprawled on the floor, and by the time authorities arrived, there was nothing left of Cyrus but a bloodstain and a puzzling lack of a body. Jack Brennan efficiently erased any trace of what happened, a cleanup so thorough that even the infamous Cyrus seemed to vanish into thin air. With no corpse recovered, many are left asking, is Cyrus Renaud truly dead, or is this all an elaborate misdirection? In the world of General Hospital, unless there's a body, and sometimes even then, a death is never certain. Carly and others can't shake the feeling that Cyrus might still be out there, licking his wounds and plotting his next move. Cyrus survived that encounter. His reappearance would have earth-shattering consequences. For one, Jocelyn's nightmare would start all over again. The man she believes she killed could return, furious and hungry for revenge. Jack's entire cover-up would be blown wide open if Cyrus shows up alive, exposing the lies told to protect Joss. In fact, it's possible Jack never intended to kill Cyrus at all. Perhaps he quietly handed Cyrus over to WSB custody, using the death as a story to manipulate Jocelyn and frame Jason Morgan. Alternatively, Cyrus might have had an escape plan of his own. He's notoriously resourceful. He could be in hiding, waiting for the perfect moment to strike back at his enemies. Should he resurface, Cyrus might leverage what he knows, that Jocelyn tried to kill him, to blackmail the young agent or her family. Imagine the chaos if Cyrus strolls into town alive. Joss's secret would unravel, the PCPD would reopen the case, and Carly would have a new target for her wrath, or a potential unexpected ally if Cyrus offers information on Jack. Cyrus Renaud alive means no one is truly safe. His survival would turn this already complex conspiracy into a three-dimensional chess match, with Cyrus seeking payback, Jack scrambling to maintain control, and the entire city of Port Charles caught in the crossfire. Jason Morgan, framed hero or hidden wild card? One of the most shocking twists in this saga is the unexpected return of Jason Morgan's presence, not in person, but in the form of incriminating evidence. Investigators found 2 strands of Jason's hair at the scene of Cyrus Renaud's supposed death, instantly raising eyebrows. How could Jason, long presumed dead, be linked to this incident? The simplest answer is that he's being framed, and all signs point to Jack Brennan as the architect of that setup. Still, in a town full of spies and secrets, nothing is ever straightforward. Fans and characters alike are buzzing with theories about what might really be going on with Jason, framed from afar. The leading theory is that Jack Brennan planted Jason's DNA evidence to divert suspicion away from Jocelyn and himself. By making it look like Jason disappeared Cyrus, Jack shifts the focus to a man who conveniently isn't around to defend himself. This betrayal cuts deep, as Jason is not only Carly's best friend but also a protector figure to Jocelyn. If this frame sticks, it tarnishes Jason's legacy and buys Jack time to cover his tracks. It's a clever move, framing a dead man, because Jason can't easily refute it, unless he's alive. The ghost returns. Another wild possibility is that Jason Morgan is actually alive and was secretly involved that night. Could Jason have been watching over Carly's family from the shadows and stepped in during the cabin chaos? Perhaps he tussled with Cyrus or even helped spirit Jocelyn away to safety, leaving behind a couple of hairs inadvertently. This theory is far-fetched, but stranger things have happened in Port Charles. If true, it means Jason has been in hiding, or on a covert mission, and chose now to emerge. His return would flip the entire situation on its head. He could clear his name and expose Jack's machinations, all while protecting the people he loves. Many fans would cheer to see the legendary enforcer back in action at just the right moment. Twin trickery. We can't discuss Jason without mentioning his twin brother, Drew Quartermain. Jason and Drew share identical DNA, which opens the door to another theory. Perhaps those hairs aren't Jason's at all, but Drew's, planted to appear as Jason's. Whether Drew did this willingly or was duped is a big question. We'll explore his role soon. It's possible Jack enlisted or coerced Drew into providing a DNA sample for the fake evidence. If so, Drew might have gone along with it either to protect Jocelyn or as part of some larger scheme. The twin switch idea adds another layer of intrigue. The authorities could be chasing the wrong man entirely when they zero in on those DNA clues. No matter which theory proves true, the Jason Morgan angle raises the stakes dramatically. If Jason is innocent and being set up, once the truth comes out, Port Charles will be furious on his behalf. The Corinthos/Spencer family will feel the betrayal acutely. Framing Jason is like declaring war on Carly and Sonny's inner circle. On the other hand, if by some miracle Jason is alive and operating behind the scenes, we're in for an explosive reveal that could blow Jack Brennan's plans apart. Jason's loyalty to his family is unwavering, so if he learns that Jocelyn is in danger and Carly was deceived, he will stop at nothing to make things right. In any case, the mystery of Jason's involvement, framed ghost or secret savior, is a powder keg ready to explode, and its outcome could change the course of several lives in Port Charles. High-tech espionage, drones and future threats. Jack Brennan doesn't just rely on people and lies to do his dirty work. He has an arsenal of high-tech tools at his disposal. In his past operations, the ones we know of, Jack has shown a penchant for using drone strikes and cutting-edge tactics to achieve his aims. Recall the daring rescue of Lucky Spencer in Somalia. Jack remotely deployed weaponized drones to obliterate a warlord's compound, creating chaos that allowed Lucky, Anna Devane, Holly Sutton, and even Jason Morgan to escape captivity. In another mission not long ago, Jack sanctioned the sinking of the Haunted Star, using drone firepower to take out Victor Cassidy's floating lair off the coast of Greenland. That strike destroyed a cache of deadly pathogens and eliminated a major threat, Victor himself, in one fell swoop. These examples proved Jack's effectiveness and won him accolades, even Carly's gratitude. But they also reveal a man who won't hesitate to rain down destruction from afar when it suits his agenda, given his history. It's not a stretch to worry that Jack might employ similar high-tech methods in the current crisis. Surveillance drones could already be hovering above Port Charles, tracking Carly's movements or ensuring Jocelyn stays under Jack's radar. If Jack feels cornered, would he actually consider a drone strike on domestic soil to remove a threat? It sounds extreme, but with someone as resourceful and ruthless as Jack, nothing seems off-limits. He's effectively a one-man spy agency. He can hack communications, forge documents, and call in remote assaults, all without ever revealing his hand. For instance, if Cyrus Renault were to resurface and pose a problem, Jack might be tempted to quietly resolve it with a well-timed high-tech attack, leaving no evidence behind. Similarly, anyone who gets too close to uncovering Jack's scheme, be it Carly, Anna, or even Joss if she rebels, could find themselves targeted by methods they'd never see coming. The use of drones and other tech adds an unpredictable and terrifying element to this saga. It means the usual defenses and street smarts of our Port Charles heroes might not be enough. Jack has the power to strike from the shadows, and that keeps everyone on edge. The art of manipulation, Brennan's control over Jocelyn. Jack Brennan's greatest weapon isn't a gun or a drone, it's his talent for manipulation. From the moment he set his sights on Jocelyn, he began carefully pulling her strings. He started by playing the wise mentor, offering Joss little tests of her spying abilities and feeding her just enough information to intrigue her. By nudging Joss into precarious situations and then rescuing her at the right moment, Jack built up her trust and dependence. The confrontation with Cyrus Renault was in many ways the culmination of Jack's grooming. He had primed Jocelyn to act bravely and impulsively, and when she did, he swooped in to manage the aftermath. Immediately after Cyrus went down, Jack explicitly instructed Joss to lie to everyone she cares about, her mother, her friends, even Dex, under the guise of protecting her cover. He leveraged Jocelyn's guilt and fear perfectly. Because she felt responsible for Cyrus's death, she was susceptible to Jack's narrative that secrecy was the only way to keep her and her loved ones safe. Through a mix of flattery, telling Joss she has what it takes to be a great agent, and coercion, reminding her of what's at stake if the truth comes out, Jack has maintained a tight grip on the young woman's actions. Brennan's manipulation extends far beyond Jocelyn. He has been running a long con on the entire town. To Carly and the rest of Port Charles, he projected the image of a dedicated WSB operative and even a potential romantic partner, all while using that proximity to further his scheme. With the authorities, Jack appears cooperative and heroic. Who would suspect that the man who helped bust arms dealers and save hostages could secretly be orchestrating all this chaos? He's adept at covering his tracks, cleaning crime scenes, planting evidence, and ensuring any loose ends, or loose lips, disappear. The mysterious demise of Dr. Austin Gatlin Holt, who was on the verge of exposing a criminal boss, has even been whispered to be Jack's handiwork behind the scenes. Brennan's history in covert ops trained him to be patient and cunning. He operates in the shadows, orchestrating events to his advantage but rarely taking credit openly, a puppet master whose puppets don't even realize they're on strings.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye.